Good morning, everyone. I just want to first off thank everyone for taking time out of your day to join myself. And got a little change in the lineup today. Unfortunately, due to travel and stuff, Grant and Skylar are not able to join me. So we've got Heather Fitzpatrick joining us from Athene. Been with Athene for a long time. Going to be jumping in. We're going to talk a lot about partial Roth conversions. It's a big topic. A lot of interest in this from clients and agents across the country. Good time to look at moving money to tax-free options. And so really excited to have that. We're going to jump in and talk a little bit about a couple of the products at Athene as well and see some case studies as well. So really excited to have Heather with us. Along the way, we're going to just have a couple quick poll questions. So the quicker we get those answered, the faster we move on. And then if you do have questions throughout the presentation, you can just go ahead and type those in. As we see them pop up, I'll be getting those answered as we go along. So with that, you just got to bear with me for a couple minutes. For those of you who don't know, my name's Laura Johnson. Work here at IAMS on the annuity side. Been with IAMS for, I don't know, 15 years or so. I did a lot of time on the admin side. Now been on the sales side for about 6 years now. So anytime you need anything, don't hesitate to give me a shout. First thing, we're just going to talk about a few things about IAMS. Intro slides here, but for those of you who are new to IAMS, maybe considering joining IAMS, um, first thing you get when you join IAMS is we start you in a program called the New Producer Program. And what this is it's an opportunity with those first pieces of business that you write with IAMS to, as you can see, have opportunity to get some marketing assistance. So you got 6 months to qualify from the day you get contracted. And as you can see, 5 different tiers with a lot of great options, anywhere from seminar, radio, maybe you need a new website overhaul, maybe you want some preset appointments or do some social media campaigns. As you can see, though, really the goal with this is to partner with you off those first pieces of business and help boost production. So if you're curious if you qualify or where you at, close to qualifying, give your marketer at IAMS a call. They can look that up and get that information to you. Um, so for index annuity premium, counts dollar for dollar. So just keep that in mind. Once you get out of our new producer program, we do move you into a marketing reimbursement program. So for all the business you're writing here at IAMS, you're going to be earning some marketing dollars. For every 100,000 of indexed annuity premium, that's $100 put in an account for you. For every 100,000 of single premium life, that would be $200. And for every 10,000 of life target premium, that would be $200 as well. So just a really great way to continue to earn marketing dollars as you go along. I've had a couple agents forget they had these marketing dollars and a couple of years down the road have several $1,000s stacked up, and it's really a great way to get some assistance. Let IAMS partner with you on those marketing expenses. We also have a referred producer program. If you've been in the industry any length of time, you know referrals are important in your business and equally as important in ours. So we do have a referred producer program. I know a lot of times agents don't want to maybe build a hierarchy or take on the responsibility of downline agents and potential chargebacks and such. So we do have this program built where you don't have any of that liability. So when your referee gets contracted with IAMS, it's $50. And then as you can see on the screen, there's a little bit of a kickback you get for all their life and annuity business as well. Those checks are paid out quarterly, but a really great way to earn some money off of a referral over to IAMS. So if you got someone in mind that might benefit from our products or services, just reach out to your marketer, give them the name information. We'll be happy to reach out to that agent, see if we can't assist them as well. It's part of our name, insurance agency marketing service. So that is our number one goal here at IAMS, is to be number one when it comes to service. We're not looking to be the biggest FMO in the industry, but we want to be number one when it comes to servicing you, making sure that you're taken care of, doing case design, making sure you're compliant to write cases before you go out and write them, making sure you got all the correct forms. Amber and her team, Cindy and her team on the life side as well, do a great job with our what we call submission to commission support. I mean, that's anywhere from scrubbing your app, making sure it's in good order, following up on that business every 3 to 5 days. I know the ladies on the annuity side chasing down transfers for you. On the life side, they're ordering your AP or ordering your parameds or chasing down APSs for you. So really our goal is to take that off of your plate and put it onto ours. That keeps you in the field doing what you do best. And we also are on paperless contracting. So um, Insurance Bay, really easy way to get appointed with carriers without the headache of new paperwork every single time. So really try to make your lives as easy as we can. For those of you who don't know, we are partnered with FireLight. I'm going to fast forward real quick to this slide. A little bit better one shows all the carriers that are on FireLight. Great way. I'll speak on FireLight's behalf for a couple of things. Number one, I'm sure Heather would back me up on this. Your business gets processed a lot faster. I mean, even on the home office level, we're seeing cases get through suitability, initial review 3 to 4 days faster than if you do a paper application. Um, the nice thing about being partnered with FireLight is we do have a single sign on to our website, and you can do an e-app with any of these carriers. If you're like me and hate remembering your password, this is a great thing. You got one password to IAMS' website. On there, you have access to FireLight. We also have a Life, iGo e-app, and Medic Connect for Medicare. So really with one sign on, whether you're doing life, annuity, or Medicare business, you can do it all through our website on the e-app platforms. So as you can see, pretty much all the carriers are on this. The ones that aren't, we're getting added on a regular basis. So one thing with FireLight, if you go out to our website, go under eApp Solutions, there is a registration you have to do for FireLight, because on the backside, we do have to set you up as an agent in the system. So do the FireLight registration. Within a couple hours, you'll have access to that platform. If you haven't worked with our creative team, I urge you to consider using them. Got a full service creative team here in-house. It's not on the screen, but I'll tell you this. If you go to IAMScreative.com, we've got their own little landing page where you can check out a lot of the portfolios, kind of get to know some of the designers, what their specialties are, know kind of who you want to reach out to. But as you can see on the screen, we can handle pretty much anything in-house, from websites, social media, drip email campaigns. You want to do a newsletter. Maybe you're new to the business and you need help with a logo design. We can do all that here internally for you. If you do have a project that you'd like to have someone on the team work on, I encourage you just to reach out to your marketer directly, let them know kind of what you're looking to do so that we can get you with the correct person on the creative team. As you can see on the screen, our website, www.imsinc.com. A lot of great tools out there. I won't bore you and go through the whole website. Like I mentioned, we do have the eApp solutions on there. We do give you access to Annuity Rate Watch out there as well. I use that tool every day when I'm working with agents, doing illustrations, figuring out what the best income is going to be, looking up different rates. So you do have access to that through our website. You can get to forms. We've got the term quoter, a lot of great things. One of my favorites, though, is if you go under the support tab, you'll see the sales resource library. This has so many great materials for agents in the field, client presentations, fact finders, financial calculators, just a ton of resources for you. So you got a client who says, hey, I want some more information on what an indexed annuity is. Well, good news is under the sales resource library, there is a 10-page paper on everything you would need to know about an indexed annuity. What's a cap? What's a participation rate? I mean, it breaks it down, has some nice graphs in there. So I encourage you to check that out as well. If you weren't aware, we do also have an RIA in this office, IAMS Wealth Management. Charles Jr. and his team do a great job for our advisors. Now, I'm going to speak on two things here. First of all, for those of you who are 65, 66, CFP, considering looking at an RIA or moving out of the broker-dealer world, maybe just go in RIA space, you can get registered with us. They do a great job. We really built this RIA for the insurance producer. I always tell my agents who are considering getting their 65 this scenario. Let's just say you go into a household and client has 500,000. They're looking to move. Well, we all know that Athene's probably only going to take about 300,000 of that. So what would you be doing with that other 200,000? This is a great opportunity to be in control of your clients, and not just on the annuity side, but having complete control. Because if you don't take that 200,000 somewhere, you're allowing another advisor to potentially sneak in and capture that client. So urge you to consider it, but then for those of you who maybe are considering getting out of the business or getting, fading out and don't really want to take the time to study, I'm going to talk a little bit about our client portion as well. So we've got, and as I do this, I'm going to throw a poll question up. If you have interest on either program with IAMS Wealth Management, just answer yes. That'll just generate a phone call from Duncan in our office. But for the client portion, what it is it's an Zach Regan, our office, handles this program, and you got a client, again, that 200,000, you want to refer that up to Zach. He will be happy to handle that client for you, take care of it, service him, service he, she. And the good news is, depending on the state you live in, there could be an opportunity for you to get a kickback with a little bit of the fee that is charged to that client. Now, that is based on the states individually, so depending on the state you're in. But again, a great opportunity to know that that client is not going to another advisor. It is safe. It's all with IAMS. We're going to take care of that client for you. So if you are interested on either maybe potentially getting registered or want to hear about our platform, and or potentially have some clients that you may want to refer or want to learn a little bit more about the client portion of that, just go ahead and answer yes. And like I said, all that's going to do is generate a question, or not question, a phone call from Duncan in our office just to get any questions answered for you. So if you want to just go ahead and answer that, I can get on to the remainder of the meeting. Perfect. Alrighty, next slide. I love talking about trips. Trips are fun. So we've got our top producer summit coming up next year. Actually, this year. It's going to be August 28th through November 4th. As you can see on the screen, a lot of great spots. They're going to start out in Rome, take a tour around Mediterranean, and end over in Venice. $4.5 million to qualify. All your life, annuity, Medicare, any business you write with IAMS counts in one way or another for this trip. Index annuities, annuities are dollar for dollar. And then there's a breakdown for life target and stuff. If you have questions, just give your marketer a call. They get that answered. But we still got plenty of time to qualify. Qualification runs through June 30th of this year. So really excited about the trip. Hoping to have the biggest trip ever. So we love trips, and that's an awesome one that still in plenty of time to reach. One other thing I'm going to mention is we do life and annuity academies 3 to 4 times a year. Partner with people like Athene, bring in 40, 45 agents at a time. This is not annuities 101 or life insurance 101. This is going to be much more in depth. Sales concept, techniques, ideas. How can we help you grow your business is really the goal from this. We're going to bring some of our top producers in as well. They're going to share their marketing programs, exactly what they're doing to get in front of clients, how they're closing more business, how they're asking for referrals, how they're doing their marketing. They're going to share all these things with you and really hope to put together a plan with you to help you increase revenue. So really excited about these events. We love doing these. Finally able to see people face to face again. So if you are interested in attending maybe one of our life and annuity academies, just go ahead and answer yes. That's just going to let us know you're interested. So then when we announce the dates for the next one, we can get you out the registration for that. So again, it's not for the new producer, someone who's brand new to the business, because it's really a lot of advanced topics that are going to be covered at these meetings. All righty. One other thing I'm going to mention while people are voting on that or putting their poll in. One thing we are doing this year, it's actually taking place next week on the 19th and 20th, is our IAMS Ascend event. It's a virtual kickoff meeting we're going to be doing. Excited to say that we've got Robert Schiller lined up. Cheryl Moore is going to be doing kind of an industry update. Jonathan Glub from Credit Suisse. He's head of quantitative research over at Credit Suisse. Going to be doing a presentation. This is all virtual. It is all going to be recorded. So as long as you are registered for the event, you will be able to get to those recordings. So I don't have a slide on it, but if you got a pen and paper, write this down. Go to IAMSascend.com and you can register out there. So just want to make sure everyone is aware of it. It's going to be a really great event. Really excited for some of the speakers. And like I said, we've got a good lineup there for it as well. So with that, I am going to hand it over. Like I said, we do have Heather with us today. Unfortunately, Grant and Skylar are traveling right now, so weren't able to join us, but happy to have Heather with us. So with that, Heather, I just handed controls over to you and appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us.
Thank you guys for having me. Hopefully I can do you guys justice. And just checking with you, Laura, you can see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
And everybody can hear?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate you guys inviting us to come and speak on behalf of Athene. And then I threw my picture out here so you guys know who is talking to you. So she alluded, I am the senior internal wholesaler. I actually help with the Western region territory. So I have been with Athene since, well, when it was Aviva back in 2012. And I was lucky enough to meet Grant way back in the day. And then he came over and started working for us. So I was very excited to see him join our team. And you've also got Skylar, who is a great resource there. So just figured I'd throw myself out there so you know who is talking to you guys today. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Grant or Skylar. And I do have their contact information at the end of this. But you can always reach out and we will get you whatever it is that you need. So today we are going to be going over just the Athene story real briefly. I'm hoping most of you have heard of Athene, who we are, and all of that good stuff. So I'll kind of breeze over that, and then we will get into the Roth conversion. And as Laura said, I've got some information on the Performance Elite and Agility products at the end, as those are two of our big products that people are utilizing for that Roth conversion. So I wanted to be able to share that information with you guys as well. So Athene has been upgraded to an A+ rating by S&P. That came about with the profitable growth we've been experiencing in the recent years, and especially during the pandemic years. That actually helped really kind of push us over the top there. They were very happy to see how we handled that type of crisis situation. So we did get that rating, which we had been hoping for. We do now have a competitive edge with Apollo. So as of the beginning of the year, we have merged with them, and now we have all of the beneficial side things that come with having a company like Apollo to pair with. For those who have been with Athene, nothing changes. Our name isn't changing. Our products aren't changing. The way we do business isn't changing. It's really on the backside of things, allowing us to continue the growth, have a little bit more of that capital so that we can continue to take Athene, as you know it, to that next level for you guys. So number one ranked carrier in FI sales in 2021. So far in 2022, or I'm sorry, in 2020, we had the title. 2021, we also have the title. We're just waiting on fourth quarter rankings to see how that actually pans out for us. So we're excited to see that tremendous growth for somebody like me who's been here for a while. It's been really exciting to see the growth that has come over the last few years. So still have our strong indexing offerings and all of our different products. We do joke a little bit. While we were and have been the number one FIA carrier in the country, we don't have a product in the top 10. Now, why is that something to kind of talk about? It's because we have an entire suite of products. So it's not one product that's catapulting us to this number one spot. It's an entire suite of products that, because you're contracted through us, through IAMS, you guys have these products to be able to offer your clients. So while we understand not every financial solution is an FIA, we like to think that if an FIA is the solution, we have a product designed to help your client in that. So just a little bit there. So as those products, if we just take a look here, we've got the guaranteed income with the Ascent Pro bonus. We've got the agility for income, death benefit, and solid accumulation. And then we'll talk about how that plays into the Roth conversion as well. And then we have Performance Elite and AccuMax for the purely accumulation opportunities. So without further ado, we will look at the partial Roth conversion, the road to tax-free income. There's some really good books out there. I was really excited. Can I come to the IAMS Ascend clinic? Having Cheryl
You're
Moore.
more than welcome. Thanks to Athene, we have Robert Schiller.
Right. I was like, oh, he's always fun to listen to. Cheryl Moore's got some great information out there. So there's a lot of great books out there, a lot of folks talking about the road to tax-free income. And so in response to that, Athene last year started to allow for partial Roth conversions. We've always allowed for full Roth conversions, but let's face it, that's a big pill to swallow for a lot of folks to have to pay all of those taxes on all of that tax deferred income all at once. So last year we were able to start doing this partial Roth conversion. If you have questions or if you have Tax-free income for life. David McKnight's great book kind of talks about that stuff. The new retirement savings time bomb. Ed Slott has a bunch of information on really helping your clients to get to this tax-free income. So Benjamin Franklin, the only two things in life that are guaranteed: death and taxes. So we know that to be the case. We know that, at some point taxes are going to come due on these tax deferred accounts. It's really a matter of having the conversation with your client as to, well, when do you want to pay those taxes and when might it make sense to pay those taxes? So some things to think about as we go through here. Taxes are currently at an all-time historical low. May not feel like it right now for us, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, they really are at an all-time low. The federal deficit is growing daily. Talk about federal stimulus packages, things like that. Social Security will be having some challenges in the future. We can all attest to knowing a little bit about that, or at least hearing murmurs of that. And then also recently, the inherited qualified IRAs are taxed at a very high rate, and estate taxes may be on the rise. So none of these things are positive. And so it becomes the conversation to how do we help with that? And one thing that kind of resonates with people is we find it very funny that nobody wants to pay their taxes today if they can defer it. Why pay for it today if I don't have to worry about it right now? But it's also funny when you go to Costco or Sam's Club and you have no problem buying 36 rolls of toilet paper because, well, I'm going to need it eventually. Well, you're going to need this income eventually. So maybe paying taxes today will help to benefit you in the long run. So that's one of the things that we kind of look at here. So is there an alternative to escalating taxes? Yes, the partial Roth conversion. So that's one of the great things that we're going to take a look here. So you can convert IRA assets to a Roth over time. So again, take a look at, and we kind of consider it Roth conversion season, typically in the fourth quarter, because we want to see kind of how that client's whole portfolio is, what does their tax bracket look like for the year before they decide. But let's start looking at converting that. Pays taxes today in exchange for tax-free growth and tax-free income later. Now, you do know that there are some conversion minimums on there. You just want to pay attention to those things. But then the target age from retirement, age 55 to 72, is kind of before RMDs really become a thing. So how do we start kind of converting that? Convert your Roth IRAs when your marginal tax brackets are lower. You don't necessarily want to have them when they are higher, and control your taxes by converting just enough to stay in a lower tax bracket. Well, what does that really look like for somebody? So this is just a hypothetical. If the couple retire at 60, they have $2 million in traditional IRAs, they would work with their tax person to figure out a Roth conversion strategy and what amount do they need to convert each year to remain at the same tax bracket. So again, there's a little bit of legwork that's required with this particular scenario, but knowing that you've got the tools with Athene to do it will certainly come in be helpful here for the client. So this is just a hypothetical. If in 2021 they converted 59,326, again, to keep them in the same tax bracket, 2022 they convert 63, 23, 67. At the end of this time period, they've converted of that 2,667,804 to non-qualified money by doing these partial Roth conversions year over year. Without the conversion, the ending portfolio value would be about $6 million, but 0% of that money would be tax-free. However, if they do a series of partial Roth conversions, the value is a little bit higher there, and 42% of that is now tax-free money. That's a big deal for a lot of people. If you have that conversation where, maybe it's not all of it. Like I said, the whole Roth conversion thing was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. But even if you could start taking some of that money and converting it earlier on, paying those taxes now, even during their working years, it's going to be easier to pay those taxes now. They're lower and you still have income coming in prior to actually retiring. Couple different sales concepts that we have around this. The annuity to fund life insurance. This is one that I see quite a bit actually, where somebody comes to you and they have qualified money and they're looking for life insurance. Great. Put the money into something like Agility 10, and we'll take a look at that. That allows for 10% of initial premium to come out. Take that free withdrawal, pay the taxes on that free withdrawal, and then fund the life insurance policy. The plus side is you as the advisor get paid on the annuity business, and you're getting paid on that life insurance business, and you're helping their client to fund the life insurance with non-qualified money. Using an FIA to bridge Social Security. Again, agility tends to be a big one with this, although performance leads right up there. If you do the Social Security calculation and you find that deferring taking your Social Security for a few years could actually increase that guaranteed income you're getting from Social Security, utilize an FIA, put some money in it, pull the free withdrawal out to bridge that gap for those years that they've elected to defer turning on Social Security, and thereby increasing your guaranteed Social Security using your FIA to help bridge that gap. We've got the managed money concept. We've got great marketing pieces on this one as well. You know, we're not saying to compete directly with managed money. Managed money has a place in everyone's portfolio. It's just as you get older, it might make more sense to start pulling some of that money out, putting some guarantee around it, put it into an Ascent Pro bonus, and guarantee that this bill that your client has to pay will always be covered no matter what. Leave some money in the managed money so they can have all the upsides and some of the loss, but you've also kind of pocketed some of that good guaranteed income so they don't have to worry about, you know, whether it be, you know, a tax bill or an insurance bill or a mortgage. I joke with one of the gals here, she's got a huge family, and I said, well, what if you took a little bit of your managed money and put it into the Ascent Pro bonus, and then every year come October 1, you pull out that income stream to pay for Christmas presents? And she kind of thought I was crazy until she started doing the math, because her family is so large. I said, can you imagine what your Christmases are going to look like in 15 years when all your kids are having kids? So it just really depends on what resonates with the client, but it's a nice opportunity there. And then we have the bucket approach too. So even though we still allow for the partial Roth conversions, it makes sense to still have some of these bucket approaches. I have a particular client of one of my agents who they have multiple contracts in the Agility. That way they can turn income on one, wait a few years, turn income on a second one, wait a few years, turn income on their third, fourth, and so on. So they've kind of started that bucket approach even with the different products that we offer here. So the question is, well, why Roth conversion? Well, tax-free income. I mean, that seems like a pretty good reason for me to be looking at doing that. Keep more of what I've been working for all these years. Partial Roth conversions are a pathway to that tax-free income that we kind of talked about. And then we like the fact that Athene is making it easy. So thank you, Laura, for the FireLight plug there. You guys all have access to FireLight, and 100%, I wholeheartedly agree. I didn't want to interrupt her, but doing through FireLight, you really are shaving 3 to 4 days off your processing time. I can speak for Athene specifically, where if you do an app through eApp, it bypasses the new business review altogether and will just go straight to suitability. So you're taking off 2 to 3 days, whereas if you sent that application in via paper, whether it be faxed, email, or whatever, it has to go to the new business team. They have their 3 days to review it, then it goes to suitability. So cutting out that whole department will certainly make things go that much faster for you guys. So now you have an eApp. You can also do multiple contracts all at once, do a copy as is. The information's already in there, so it makes doing multiple contracts for a person, should they have qualified and non-qualified money, makes things very easy for you to just go in, copy as is, make a couple tweaks, and within about 5 more minutes, you have 2 applications for the same client. Their address is the same, their financials are the same, their beneficiaries are usually the same as well. So it's really a matter of going out and just tweaking just a few things, and that application will be ready for signatures. And now we have the partial Roth capabilities. Now, we don't have the partial Roth form on FireLight just yet, but it is on the ask table for them to get built and be able to do that. We're adding more and more features to the e-app for post-issue sales so that we can make things that much easier for you guys as well. These are just some of those additional reasons. Traditional IRA assets that won't be needed for retirement, taxable accounts to pay for conversion, convert it, save using traditional IRAs when your tax rates are the highest, convert Roth IRAs when marginal tax rates are lower. These are just things to get clients thinking about, why might I want to pay those taxes early on? And then we do have the partial Roth conversion FAQ. When can my clients request a partial? All of that good information. So we've got that flyer available. And then it is a one-page form to do the conversion. The nice thing is when you do a conversion with us, the contract number remains the same. So if your contract number is 5565, it's 5565A for your first conversion, 5565B for the second. So it all remains the same. You get one reallocation form. It's all encompassing because it is really still the same contract. It will just be applicable to all the kids. So you'll have your parent contract and then all of the subsequent child contracts as time goes by. Roth conversions for our full or partial can create a taxable event. Obviously, we're trying to get those taxes paid now. Tax Form 1099-R and 5498 will be distributed in the calendar year following the Roth conversion. Roth distributions can be taken after age 59 and a half and 5 years after conversion, with growth being considered after tax. Roth conversions cannot be recharacterized or redone. Roth funds are not subject to RMDs, non-taxable death benefit, and the ability to convert more than personal contribution limits set by IRS. So again, just some additional takeaways there. So in addition to making it easy to do the Roth conversions, we have the Performance Elite product, which is just accumulation. So again, a nice place to kind of tuck that money away for guaranteed growth. No risk of the downside markets. Most instances, you get that premium bonus at issue. So that's always a nice little selling feature there. We do have a no fee version, as well as some where you can pay fees for additional benefits. You've got marketing leading indexing options, enhanced liquidity, which may come in handy if you are looking to, pull money out to fund maybe a life insurance policy. In many cases, we do allow for free withdrawals even in the first year. For those who are maybe a little bit more aggressive with their growth opportunities, we do now offer the strategy charge feature in there. So you can basically allow the client to pay for higher participation rates, and those participation rates are nearly double in all cases. You can help clients up through age 83. And then in most states, we do have the terminal illness confinement waiver. We also offer a return of premium on the plus versions, and then you've got a lump sum death benefit. So if you are not familiar with Performance Elite, it has been the #1 selling product for Athene for a number of years. When I came up to the sales team in 2015, this one was already on the books, and the most popular versions tend to be the Performance Elite 7 base version or the Performance Elite 10 Plus, as that Plus does get them that 10% bonus in most states, and they have higher liquidity opportunity there. But you do have some bonuses there, which for those who are doing replacement business is always helpful. I'm going to give the shameless plug that in order to replace a contract, we do need to make sure that we are making the client whole or better in most cases. There are some instances where we can allow a little bit of a loss, but we do really try and get them to at least be whole or better in the replacement switch. So we talked about the strategy charge opportunity here. So this just kind of highlights the difference between the no fee strategies and the 4-fee strategies. So if you have clients who are, like I said, a little bit more on the aggressive side, they can certainly look to put some or all of their allocated funds towards those 4-fee strategies and earn double the participation. So the BNP 2-year goes from 105% participation to 205. That AI 2-year goes from 85 to 160. So nice opportunity there for those who want to be a little bit more aggressive, and you can dial that up or down depending on your client. So that's kind of what this one we'll take a look at here is, we have our 5 indexing options. Those are the same indexing options on nearly all of our Athene-based products. 1-year and 2-year strategies available, and now with Performance Elite, we've got them with and without strategies. So a lot of different moving parts there to really tailor make the contract what the client is looking for. So if they're very aggressive, they want to put 100% into those fees, there's the 1.75 rider fee on there the allocation fee. I want to be careful there. Or they don't have to do anything and they have a 0% charge. So they can dial that up or down. And because it's an allocation, every contract anniversary, they have the opportunity to change those allocations and again, either dial that charge up or down depending on where they are. So it may be that they're a little bit more aggressive at the start, or they feel like the market's going to have a big charge and they want to be able to take advantage of that. So maybe they're a little bit heavier in the 4-fee strategies. And then as they get older or the market makes a sudden shift, they might want to just go back to the free strategies. There is a one-time credit applied at the end of that contract surrender value. So if by chance they've paid more in that strategy charge versus what they've earned, we will give them a one-time credit at the end to make them whole again. So nice little opportunity there. And then we have the differences between the plus version and the base version. Again, Performance Elite 7 base version tends to be kind of the go-to because it does innately have the 10% free withdrawal built in, so the client doesn't have to pay for that. There isn't a bonus on that version though, but we find that a lot of clients like 7 years, 10% free withdrawal, it just accumulates and then I'm done. However, we do offer it in the plus, which would have a bonus, has that 95 basis point fee. For any year that they don't take free withdrawal, the next year they have 20% available to them, and they do have some enhanced annuitization options if that is something they are looking for. Agility 7 and 10. So this one is where I see a lot of the folks using it to fund life insurance or to, if they need to know exactly how much money needs to come out of a contract to fund something else, whether that be life insurance or maybe they have 2 Agility contracts, one for income and one to do the Roth conversion. I throw this one out there because it's 10% of the initial premium or account value. Performance Elite, it's 10% of account value. But with the Agility 7 and 10, if the client puts in $100,000, they know that they can take $10,000 out annually because it's 10% of initial premium, or they can take AV, whichever one works for them. So again, top 10 reasons to choose the Agility. You've got your 25% income-based bonus, 175% stacked going into that benefit base while they wait for either income or the death benefit opportunity there. There is absolutely no fee on this contract anywhere. Your payout factors increase every year, so when they are ready to turn income on, they don't have to wait for a magical 50 to 55, 60, 65 type of birthday there. Those payout factors increase every year that they have a birthday. Penalty-free withdrawal, again, in year 1, AV or initial premium, so that's one of the big things there. If and when they do decide to turn income on with this one, so let's just say they did a Roth conversion for the first 10 years, they converted 1/10 of their initial premium. By the time they're ready to turn income on in year 11, 12, or 13, wherever that may be, now they have income for life, and it also has increasing income. So great opportunity there, especially with that Roth conversion. See if you can't get all of that money converted to Roth by the time they're ready to turn income on, and then be able to take that income for life without the taxes there. The death benefit rider is built in, so should the worst thing happen and maybe they don't get the opportunity to use this as an income rider product, that beneficiary does have the opportunity of taking the account value in a lump sum, or they can take the benefit base that's been growing over a 5-pay. We've got the doubler in most states. Just keep in mind that you will want to check on the states and rates for that, and then obviously the caps and par rates truly are second only to Performance Elite. And if you compare the Performance Elite base version no fee strategies to Agility, they're very neck and neck. So for those not familiar with the Agility and how that one works, you get your 25% income-based bonus on day one. So $100,000 becomes $125,000 on day one. End of contract year, if they get a 5% rate of return, that's $5,000. We take that 5,000 times the 1.75. So the benefit base growing at 175%, credits the benefit base with an additional $87.50, making the benefit base at the end of year one $133,750. That math happens every contract anniversary. So what is their growth times the 175% added to the benefit base? That benefit base continues to grow until either year 11 or beyond on the 10-year version, or 8 and beyond on the 7-year version when they decide to turn income on. Some folks don't even turn income on. They use it as an enhanced death benefit if they don't qualify for life insurance. So some important things here. While there's several concerns individuals face with retirement planning, some of the main issues, especially with income, include outliving their money, lack of savings, taxes, healthcare costs, and major headlines concerning in the present moment, inflation. So some of those are addressed with the Agility product. I mentioned the increasing income. So when the client is ready to turn income on, let's just say their income is $10,000 a year, we look at the accumulated value growth for that next contract year. And again, if it's 5%, now their new income is going to be increased by 5%, making income for the next year $10,500. That continues for as long as the client lives. And with even qualified money here at Athene, as long as it's the spouse, they can take joint income. So that money would continue to grow until, if it was joint, until both of them have passed. If one of them passes, there's no change to that income. So they'll continue to get that until that second person has passed away. Even after accumulated value has depleted to zero, the client will still get a reallocation letter. We will still let them pick which allocations they're following, and we will still credit their income with whatever that accumulation value does. We do have that doubler on there in most states if they are confined to a qualified care facility for 180 of the last 250 days. So that's a nice opportunity there. That confinement doubler will pay out until accumulated value is zero. So there's not like for so many years we'll do it, and then once accumulated value is zero, it reverts back to lifetime income. And then I mentioned the death benefit. And this one tends to be a big seller, at least in my territory. They like the idea of, for a lot of income rider products, that income account value, or in this case, we call it the benefit base, is kind of a virtual sum of money that clients don't quite understand that it's not theirs, and if they die, they don't get it. Agility is different. So if that benefit base has grown to, a rather large number versus the accumulated value, and they pass away, their beneficiaries can take that benefit base paid out over 5 years or the lump sum. One thing that I get asked quite a bit is, well, what happens if there's multiple beneficiaries? Well, we pay out the beneficiary based on what they select and their portion of it. So I have 2 kids. Presumably, let's say they're 50-50. I have one that would take a lump sum, run away and go buy a stupid car. And then I have one that would, take the 5 pay and probably invest it and do very smart things with it. I know my own kids, but at least I don't have to make my kids decide on the same outcome, because I can only imagine what that would look like in the future. So nice benefit there for the death benefit. And so here are the differences between the Agility 7 and 10. I think, if I remember, because this was a few slides ago, BNP 2-year on the Performance Elite 7 without a fee was 105. On the Agility 10, it's 90. So I said, very neck and neck as far as accumulation opportunity goes. Obviously, Performance Elite is designed for accumulation. You don't have all the bells and whistles and other enhanced features. But for something that has no fee, can be income, can be death benefit, and you have 10% free withdrawals of account value or initial premium, Agility really stacks up nicely here. So you have all of the opportunities, same indexing options. The 7-year version is the one that we can write up through age 83, but I would say the dominant one here is the Agility 10 for most of our clients. So just a quick recap on Agility, because I do want to, be aware of your guys' time and maybe give you a little bit back here. Agile income, agile growth, and agile liquidity. But really, I think the draw there is that 10% free withdrawal, especially when we're talking about the partial Roth conversion opportunity, being able to pull that out. Or for those who are writing life business, being able to do that. So I will leave you with Grant and Skylar's information up here. Email addresses are available, and you can always call us here at Athene, 888 Annuity. Just make sure you get transferred up to the sales desk if you guys have any questions. You've got great support with IAMS. IAMS has been a partner of ours, well, before we were Athene. So they've been around and they are a great partner of ours. But if you do ever have the need to call and reach out to any of us here, feel free to do so. I mean, that's what we're here for. No questions too small. I kind of joke we've been asked about everything. So I challenge you to challenge us to get posed an odd question. I will laugh. I will share my funniest was I was asked once what would happen to a client's contract when they were taken by rapture. So I'll leave you with that. You can all ponder on that question for a little bit. And if you have any questions, Laura, is there anything that I have missed that's
No, I appreciate. No, everything went great. Was able to answer. Wasn't really many questions. Was able
okay?
to answer those individually. I'm gonna throw up the last poll question though. If you are not currently contracted with Athene or maybe wanting to move that over to IAMS, just go ahead and answer yes to that question, and we'll get the contracting sent out to you today. So again, and then also we will also get you all a recording of the webinar today. That'll come from my assistant Dustin later today, as well as the FAQs and some information on partial Roth conversions with Athene. So again, really appreciate everyone taking time out of their day, and I'll be following up with you all as well. But again, thank you, Heather, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their Thursday.